I'm Diane Hall with AARP Missouri, and I'd like to welcome you to Functional Movement. This is the third week of our 8-week class, created and led by Tyler Ferguson, who's going to put the fun in functional movement. Functional movement is designed to build both strength and flexibility to carry out everyday tasks and to let you improve your fitness level, regardless of where you're starting from. Now, speaking of fitness, you can find many of our previous fitness classes on Missouri's YouTube channel, AARP. No, it doesn't start with AARP. It's youtube.com/AARPMO. Functional movement is a class that is suitable for many levels of fitness. However, you know your own limitations. Please do not try to go beyond what you know is right for you. If you have any concerns at all, please check with your doctor before participating in this or any other AARP fitness offering. AARP Missouri also offers other live classes. Currently, we have a Zumba Light class going, and we have links to past programs like Forever Fit and Yoga with Tyler you can participate in from the recordings. You can find links to current, past, and upcoming programs at aarp.org/movingin. Now, all of our programming is created with people age 50 plus in mind, but it's good for anyone, any age, anywhere. AARP hopes that our fitness classes like functional movement will be great options for anyone who may not be able to, or who may be a little bit hesitant to attend a traditional fitness class, like a caregiver, or maybe someone with health concerns, or just for the convenience of working out at home. In addition to our online fitness classes, AARP also has resources for caregivers, up-to-date COVID-19 information and technology information on our website at aarp.org/nearyou. So now let's get started with functional movement. Our instructor is Tyler Ferguson. Tyler, let the fun begin.
Thank you, Diane. Hi, good morning, everybody. Welcome. It's good to see all of your Hollywood squares on my computer. Let's get started right away. Let's come to standing. If you can be barefoot, you would benefit from that, if that's possible. Just take a moment to rock back and forth and allow your feet to spread out a little bit to create more contact with the ground. Just a little foot massage as you rock and roll front to back, weight in the heels, weight in the toes. You can always hold on to a wall or a chair for balance as you do this preparation. And then find stillness in your stance and feel your feet making contact with the ground. Feel your big toe mound, your piggy toe mound, and the back of your heel, maybe the inside mound and the outside mound of the back of your heel. Feeling that weight squarely in the ground, start to rise up and get tall and slightly pull your feet toward one another. They're not going to move on the ground. It's just an activation. It's an offering or an invite to get more leg muscle involved. Slightly bend the knees. So we want to go for not ever locking out our knees, but just have a slight bend in the knees. And then inhale your arms up to the sides. Exhale your arms down. Bring your hands up and put them on your rib cage. You might hook your thumbs kind of back here, spread out your fingers on your rib cage. And you want to be nice and relaxed. So if you're struggling to get that and your shoulders are in your ears, make an adjustment so you relax in your arms. Take your eye gaze down to the floor or even close your eyes and inhale through the nose. Open your mouth and exhale. Purse the air through your lips, through your mouth. And then again, through the nose, inhale. Fill up. And then when you reach the top, pause and then exhale. Purse your lips, exhale through your mouth. Now continue doing this, but on your next inhale, feel your rib cage expand sideways and open up. So you want to breathe into that space. And then when you fill up, pause, and then exhale through the mouth. Feel the rib cages, the two ribs come, or the rib cages come toward one another, back and meeting in the middle. Inhale, open up the ribs. Exhale, feel the rib cage close together, and you can even assist it with your hands as you exhale out the air. Now, if you're working too hard in this breath work, you might get a little dizzy. So back off to avoid any dizziness. 2 more times. Inhale, feel the rib cage expand. Exhale through your mouth. Feel the ribs push together. And final time, inhale, ribcage expands. And exhale, ribcage together. Good work. You can bring your eyes, open your eyes or bring them back up to the screen if you're looking at the floor. Inhale your arms up to the sides. Take your palms and place them down toward the ground. And then rotate your palms open to the sky. And feel that in your shoulder as you do that. So it's not just at the wrist, but it's at the shoulder. Turn your palms down. Extend through the fingertips. And then open your palms up and feel that rotation at the shoulder. 2 more times. Palms down. And palms up, reach and expand through either side of the arms, each set of fingertips. Inhale, reach it long. Exhale, palms down, arms come down. We'll reach up overhead now. Inhale your arms up, reach up. It might look different for everyone. If your arms are out in front, here or here, wherever, if you can bring them up along your ears, that's great too. And then you're just going to reach for the stars. So lengthening on one side of the body and then the other. Just grab some stars, pull them down. You could be reaching sort of in front a little bit if that feels better in your shoulder range. Just work in a place that feels good to you. And then notice how you're getting some side body stretches in this work too. Continue to breathe as you stretch and reach. And last set of reaching for the stars. And exhale your arms down to the sides. Bring your hands back behind your ears, or your fingertips back behind your ears, and keep your ears stacked over your shoulders. So try not to press your head down and forward. Keep the ears stacked. Just open up through the chest, and then bring the elbows back, and then let them come forward a little bit. As the elbows come back, you're working your shoulder blades. You should feel the shoulder blades moving close together. And then when the elbows move forward, the shoulder blades separate. If bringing your hands up above your head doesn't feel great here, you can still move your shoulder blades with your hands in this position, but you can feel it a little bit more if you can get those elbows moving. Good. 2 more times here. Open it up and exit it down. Bring your hands down to your thighs. Sit back like you're going to sit in a chair. And I've renamed this Elvis pelvis. So you're just going to take your pelvis and you're just going to try to move it into this tucked position and then this this flared sassy position. So not a whole lot else is moving. You'll notice my shoulders aren't moving. The middle of my back isn't moving. I'm just working on my Elvis pelvis. Good. And then keep hands here. Now, take your pelvis into sassy and pull your chest and heart forward. Standing cow pose. Push away. Tuck your pelvis and round your back to the back of the room. Standing cow pose. Push your chest forward. Lift your tail. Standing cow. Inhale. Exhale. Press and round. Standing cat. Continue to move in this cat-cow motion. And just feel your spine as it moves and articulates into extension and into flexion, into these positions. Couple more times, standing cat-cow. Good. Hopefully your spine is feeling nice and warmed up. Let's come back to standing. Bring your fingertips back behind the ears, or you can stay here if that doesn't feel good. Now let's take our spine in this lateral direction. We're going to stay on the same side of the body. So as one elbow reaches to the floor, the opposite elbow equally reaches up to the ceiling. Now what we're thinking about here is length. So think about length in the spine and imagine energy or length or even a slight tug or pull coming out of the crown of your head. So it's pulling your body long as you move into the side bend. So you don't want to be small and crunchy on this side bend. You want to be nice and long. So imagine pulling a slinky and then bending the slinky. Yeah, you're all slinkies this morning. All right, come back up to center. Let's just take those side bends in the other direction. Get long slinkies and over to the side. Good. So we'll just take a few side bends in this direction and imagine you're stretching the skin on top of the ribs that we breathed into, right? So that breathing exercise, we want to get our ribs mobilized so our lungs can expand. We're stretching that skin and making all kinds of room for respiration or breathing, because hopefully this movement will make you feel like you're breathing a little deeper today. Last one, come to the middle. We'll finish it here. Bring your hands together. Shoot your fingertips forward. And now we did the Elvis pelvis. We're going to take it up to just the upper back. So round the upper back, look at the thumbs, shoulders away from ears. Inhale here. Exhale, peel the heart forward. So notice the pelvis is not moving much in this one. I'm isolating this movement just to my upper back. Shoulder blades separate as I shoot my fingertips forward. Shoulder blades come together as the heart pulls forward and the chest expands. Exhale, shooting round. Inhale, expand your chest. Exhale, shooting round. Inhale, expand your chest. And release and let it go. Let's move down to our feet and work on our toes this morning. So find your 4 points in each foot and then lift up your toes and spread them wide. Now I'm going to do the same thing with my fingers, and I'm just going to try to mimic what my toes are doing with my fingers to give you a little extra tutorial. So all 10 toes are off the ground. I can feel my big toe mound and piggy toe mound in my heels. And then place the toes on the ground, but try to spread space in between them. Lift and spread, put them on the ground with space in between. Lift and spread, put them on the ground with space in between. Now listen, we're going to change it up. Press your big toe into the ground, but lift your other 4 toes. So this might be a bit of a challenge for you. This can be homework that you work on at home. Now take those 4 toes and put them down on the ground and lift only your big toes. What? Yeah, let's try that again. Let's go big toe down. Other 4 toes on each foot come up. And notice I'm not rolling in on my ankle too much, right? I'm not rolling in to achieve that. Now let's go 4 toes down on each foot. Big toes up. And again, I'm not rolling to the outside to achieve that. I'm just moving through the toes. And big toes go down. So a little homework for you, big toe, 4 toe. Now lift all 10 toes and spread them wide. Place them down on the ground as spread as you can get them. And then take the bottoms of the toes and pull them back to the heels so you get those little toe knuckles. Please do not curl your toes under, just pull them back. And then stand nice and tall. You might pull your inner thighs toward one another and feel. You can feel the activation maybe in your core, and stand nice and tall. Circle sweep your arms up, look up here, and then lift your eye gaze up to the ceiling, and then take your eye gaze down to the floor. Now, if your arms aren't comfortable in this position, find a position where they're comfortable, maybe straight out to the sides or maybe crisscrossed in front of your chest. But we're just working a little flexion and extension in the neck. And as you do this work, think about trying to keep your back of the neck, the back of the spine, keep that as long as you can keep it. So whenever we work with the back, we want to keep everything nice and long. We're creating space. I'd like for you to leave class today feeling 1/8 of an inch taller than when you came into class today. Last time, chin goes down. Exhale your arms down to your sides. So shrug the shoulders up into the ears and roll them back and down. Couple more times, shoulders come up into the ears, roll them back down, and roll them back down. One more thing, let's just go and warm up the ankles real quick before we start our movement. We'll lift the heel of one foot and lower it down. You might spread the toes and notice that you can really feel that big toe mound and piggy toe mound as you lift and lower the heel. And final time, lift the heel and then rock and roll to the inside and the outside of the foot. So you might get a little lower leg stretch there, or feel some stretch or sensation in your ankle. We'll finish up there and find that on the other side. So first we just start with some lifts and lowers. So we're articulating the foot here. We're finding those little, our feet are filled with tiny bones and muscles and joints. And we're exploring what the foot is capable of doing, the movement that it's capable of doing by moving into this footfold movement. All right, let's lift the heel and pause here, and then roll back and forth. So now you can roll onto the inside and outside edge of your foot. So when you roll to the big toe mound, the heel is lifted, the piggy toe mound can come up. And then when you roll to the piggy toe mound, the big toe mound can come up, or great toe mound. And let's finish it back and come to standing. All right, that's our warm up for today. Are you guys ready to start with our cardio work? Let's just move into a squat. So sit down like you're going to sit into a chair. Pause here with me and just feel the squat in your body. I want you to look down and see that your toes are pointed as forward as much as you're capable of making your toes point forward, and that your feet are about hips distance apart. And you want to make sure that your knees track forward too, rather than kind of knocking together. All right. I'm going to hold this squat for one more second. And then when you stand, I want you to drive your heels down into the ground and pull your hips forward to stand tall. When you stand tall, you can turn and hug your seat muscles and your quad muscles, hug it all in to stand tall, and then sit right back down in a squat. Good. Stand tall and sit right back down in a squat. Now it's going to be up to you how deep you go in your squat. I get excited when I teach, and when I get excited, I get a little bit lower in my squat. So if you see me doing that, and that's not good for you, you just stay at the distance that works for you. I also do this with my speed. I get excited and I speed up. So if you see me doing that, and it's not right for you, I want you to do these squats at the depth and the speed that works for you. Okay. So we're going to keep doing a few of these for a while. You're going to feel this. So let's talk about what's going on in the upper body. I place my hands on my thighs to give myself a little contact and push off. And maybe you can feel, if your hands are active in the thighs, you're driving your elbows back in that lowering phase, driving the elbows straight back. And you can maybe feel your shoulder blades come together as your back goes strong and long. Okay, so when we come into the squat, we don't want to be rounded in our squat. We want to be nice and strong. Placing the hands on the thighs can give us an opportunity to pack the shoulders, drive the elbows back. Okay, maybe you can feel that. At the top of your squat, drive your knuckles down to the ground. Feel your triceps turn on. So you're putting your elbows at full extension. Now I'm going to speed up a little bit, but you don't have to. I'm just going to speed up for those that might benefit from going a little faster. Now remember, go at the pace that serves you. Finally, let's connect our breath to our movement. So just make sure you're inhaling and exhaling with the movement. I like to inhale lower and exhale stand. But if you do the opposite, which many people do, it's perfectly fine. You just want to make sure you're moving. Okay, guys, 5 more. 5. Now I know I might be going at a different speed. And 4. And 3. Drive your feet as if you're pushing them through the ground in order to stand tall. Feel the hips come forward. That's your final one. Good job. Take a little movement, marching in space. Going to revisit an exercise we did last week. Just going to step to the right and step back. So for some of you, just moving laterally and finding your footing to your side might be what's best for you today. I'm going to give you offerings of levels of this exercise. So some of you might stay right there. For others, I want you to pause and do a wide squat and stand tall. So you have a choice. What's better for you today? Is it stepping back and forth, or is it getting your feet wide and doing a wide squat? Are your toes planting forward? Now, for some of you, you might want a little bit more out of this. So we're going to squat wide, come home. Squat wide, come home. Pick which one of these is best for you. If you're choosing to move, squatting wide and coming home, your squat wants to be in between your 2 feet. So your pelvis wants to land equally between feet and knees. Okay, we're going to add on today. I promised we would add on. For some of you, you might like a balance challenge. Squat wide, balance. Squat wide, balance. So pick any one of these movements that's best for you. Go at the speed that's best for you. Go at the depth that's best for you. You can even reach your arms up at the top of your balance. Lots of choices. We're going to pause in a single leg balance. So if you're doing this full one with me, let's go 3 more. Whatever choice you make, 3, 2, pause on number 1, and then everyone else just come and meet us at a single leg balance. At this point, you might hold on to a chair or the wall, working on standing on that balance leg, slight bend in the knee there. Take your opposite leg and just find some ankle circles. If your arms are overhead, you can bring your hands to prayer and then just work on some ankle circles. Good work. Hopefully your heart rate got up just a little bit with that one. Boom, put that foot down and we're going to find it on the other side. So we're going to step left. Taking some steps, just getting used to taking up space, moving sideways. That's level 1. Level 2 is just to work on some wide squats and standing up tall. So again, you can stay, I hate to call them levels, they're just choices. So here's a couple choices for you, choices 1 and choice 2. Choice 3 is to get a little bit more dynamic. Now, if you choose choice 3, this is where it starts to get complicated and confusing because you want to make sure you're not sending your hips over to one foot. You want to keep your pelvis in between both feet equally. Good. You can push off, right? You can feel a little explosive movement there. Press off with the hands, drive the knuckles down. Do you want to go a little bit higher and work on that balance? That's an option. If you choose the balance option, make sure you pause for a moment. And if you're struggling with that balance, use your core, right? Work from the center, work from the core. If you add your arms up overhead in any of these moves, you'll see that that'll pick the heart rate up quite a bit. Okay, guys, we're going to find balance on the other side. I'm going to count you down for 3. So this is number 3. And 2. And 1. Pausing in your balance, getting your balance, feel in your balance leg that you have a slight bend, and then bring your hands to prayer. Stick your opposite leg long, and then start to find some circles in your ankle. Now again, don't lock out that right leg. Keep that slight little bend in the knee. That'll keep the work in your muscles rather than just stacking your bones and asking your joints and your ligaments to do the work. All righty. Let's bring our legs together. Come to standing again. And we're just going to lift the right leg out to the side. So I'm remaining on my balanced leg as I lift the right leg out to the side. You're going to try, I sped up, right? You're going to try to maintain a pretty equal speed or equal pace throughout this. Remember, standing leg has a micro bend. And a couple of things to look at. If you kick it up with momentum, you can go higher, but I don't want you to kick it up. I want you to stay connected and engaged all the way up. And then as you bring your leg back down, pretend like you're pushing it through sand or water or pudding. Work in both directions. Good. The other thing is notice that my upper body is not moving to counterbalance. If I go here, I can go higher, right? But I just want to go to the distance that I can control. So the goal is not to get as high as you can. The goal is to balance and then work on these hip muscles that allow your leg to abduct out to the, move out to the side. And let's stand and march it out a little bit. All right. As you march, swing your arms and let your rib cage rotate on the spine. So really accentuate the movement of the rib cage. The waist will follow a little bit as the rib cage moves, but that's your primary focus for movement is the rib cage. Good. I see arms swinging. I see rib cages rotating. This is great for any dance classes that you're taking. Great primer for that. All right, let's come to stillness and then establish opposite foot as balance and then work that opposite leg away from the body and together. Now, if you want to hold on to a chair or a wall or anything for assistance, do that. I'm a little fast here. And again, we're not looking for that counterbalance for height. We're not doing Karate Kid here. Just working on getting those outer hip muscles to lift the leg. And then notice if you push the leg back like you're pushing through water, you can feel some muscles on the inside of the leg working. Standing leg needs to have a micro bend at the knee. Good. Yeah, these are kind of tiring, huh? And which leg is more tired, right? The standing leg, because that leg's doing a ton of work, the stabilizing leg, or this mobile leg. This mobile leg is doing a lot of work too. 3 more. 3 and 2 and 1. Yeah, right? Yeah. And if you need to march it out sooner, march it out sooner. All right. There's always going to be something next. Now, you have a choice. We're going to do that exact same exercise again, but this time we're just going to squat in between. If you don't like the squats, just go and repeat what we just did. We won't do it quite as long. So come to stillness. We're going to come to a squat, right leg lifts. Ooh, that wasn't very good. Squat, right leg lifts. So it's a little bit harder not to use that momentum. Look, if that's where you are, that's where you are. 4 and 3. I'm counting mine. I know that you guys might be going at a different pace than me. 2 and 1. Good. Can you take it right to the other side? That first one was always tough for me. Good. Squat. So trying to control the speed that your leg moves up in the air. We're not using momentum and we're not loading for a counterbalance. So try to stand up nice and tall and then just bring your opposite leg up. 4 and 3. Woo, lost my balance. And 2 and 1. All right, let's march that out, huh? Good. Swing your arms, march it out, rotate through, or let the rib cage rotate back and forth. All right, we're going to get into our second balance challenge, although I would argue all of it's a bit of a balance challenge, huh? Let's come into chair pose. Just a nice little squat, little chair pose squat here. Then you're going to load up one leg, lift your heel up in the opposite leg, then reach that foot forward and tap, and then come back and find your balance. Reach your leg out to the side, tap, come back and find your balance. Eye gaze is forward and down. So if you're looking at the screen, that might be a little hard. Foot comes back and then taps to the center for balance. This is the challenging one. Can you tap behind you and then come back for balance? Let's stand up. Just give the body a break from that work. We're going to go right back, do the same side of the body again. I'm going to give you a little bit different option this time. Coming into your chair pose. Load up that same leg, lift that opposite heel. You can bring the toe forward and tap and either balance or hover. Tap, either touch or hover. Tap, touch down or hover. And then come back behind you, tap, touch down or hover. Good job. Coming to standing. So now you have the gist of that. We're going to do it on the other side of the body. You know where we're going. A big component of balance is where you're looking, where your eye gaze is. So try to listen to my voice and just look below your computer screen. It's something that isn't moving. Because I'm moving, that's going to mess up your balance a little bit. All right, let's load up the new leg, heel up the heel. Find your eye gaze, find your balance. Tap in front of you, tap back to the center for balance. Tap out to the side, back to center for your balance. Tap back behind, back to center for balance, and then behind your standing leg, back to center for balance. Come up, just move the legs, move the hips a little bit. We'll take it a second time with those options to hover the moving leg. So peel up the heel of the moving leg, tap it forward, hover. Tap it out to the side, hover or tap down for balance, whatever you choose. Tap back behind, hover or touch down. Tap back behind your standing leg, hover or touch down. Bring your foot down, and we'll move on to our next exercise. How are we doing in time? Okay, we're doing great in time. I'm going to introduce a new exercise this week. I really like this one. This one is good. For me, it's a survival exercise if you're on a busy street. So we're going to start with the right leg and step it forward and then step it back. So you're just going to step forward and back. And you'll notice when my right leg goes forward, my left heel is going to peel up. Okay? Now, let's work on this a little bit. The heel that lifts up, you can turn those toes out a little bit. So it's like a warrior foot. So instead of having your balance leg straight, you're going to turn it out a little bit. This is the balance leg. This is the mobile leg. Now, as you step, I want you to try to take the leg that's mobile, go toe heel. So it's a bit of a ankle challenge. So we're working on decelerating or using the ankle to slow down. Good. Now, one of the things that's hard about this step is you want to take your chest with you. So I want you to keep your shoulders above your hips. There we go. I needed my back heel to come up. Take your shoulders above your hips. Notice the front knee bends and the back leg bends. When my front knee bends, it doesn't go way over my toe. It stays right above the ankle. Okay? And then you should feel like you're on a carousel horse. So your back is just going straight down over that back leg. You're not coming forward into your knee. So see if you can make that work without jamming weight or jamming into that front knee, feeling the pain in the front knee. This one isn't great for everyone. This can be challenging for some people. So if you choose to pass on this one, I'll get some feedback after class. We might just punt this one because some people don't care for this one. All right, 2 and 1. All right, now we'll take it on the other side, okay? So remember, this is going to be the stable foot. So we're going to just turn it into a little turnout. We're just going to step forward and back a little bit. So just feel that movement in the body. So what I like to pretend is I'm on a curb, I'm stepping down into traffic, and I'm like, oh, things don't look good. I'm coming back on the curb. So start to peel up that back heel more. Maybe step a little further forward, and then think about that toe heel landing on your front foot. So a lot of people, we go heel toe, right? So what I'm asking you to do is step, go toe heel. So you're absorbing your weight. Back heel lifts when you land. Back knee bends when you land. Front knee bends. Spine stays more in alignment with the hips, which are more in line with the back leg. Good. And then you can begin to connect your breath to your movement. Move at a speed that works for you. And then feel how that back foot fold, we warmed up the foot fold, right? The heel is lifted. We're in the big toe mound and the piggy toe mound of the back foot. Push down into the foot fold to come home back to your starting position. 3 and 2. Last one. And we'll come back to the center. All right, let's do an oldie but goodie. Let's come a little bit wider than our normal squat distance. And then we're going to sit back and look over our shoulder and then stand and look right at the computer. So we have a little eye activation here. So we're using muscles of our eyes to look back behind our shoulder. And we're turning our neck to look back behind our shoulder. So we're using a little bit of musculature in the neck. All right, so what do you see back behind you? Just take note of what's going on in your space, in the space that you're working in. Feel the eyes and the neck working together. And notice how that movement, that rotation, is independent of the squat rotation in the squat movement of your lower body. Lower body, you're squatting. Upper body, you're looking. Good. Now let's get more of the shoulders and the arms involved. So I want you to have a pretend box on the ground, pick it, reach and pick it up and hold it. So you're reaching and grabbing something and then bringing it to your chest. Now all of those other instructions with the squat, they apply here. So as you stand up, drive your feet into the ground, send your hips forward into full extension. That means they're long this way, that's extension. Good. And give your glutes a little squeeze at the top. Be mindful as you squeeze not to arch your back. I'm not asking you to do that. You'll hurt your back doing that. I'm asking you to stand tall. So think about the crown of your head going up to the ceiling, not arching back behind you. All right. Now, let's give this box away, right? So maybe you're going to give it to a person in your next Hollywood Square, right on the screen. So imagine who that person is. Imagine what they could use today. Maybe it's an umbrella. It sounds like from a lot of those places, that person could just use a little shelter from the storm, a little umbrella. Maybe it's just a little boost in their workout, or a little, I've got you, right? Remember that I got you moment? How about that? We share that with one another. I got you. Last time and reach, and then come to the center. And we'll just swing, march it out. I'll let you guys finish up your final set. And we'll take this on the other side, and we're going to break it down nice and slow, just like we did. So our feet are a little bit wider, not wider than our shoulders, but a little bit wider maybe than we started. Just going to sit back and look back over our shoulder. Notice how your vision is on this side of the body. Notice how your rotation and movement is on this side of the body. Can you take your neck as far? Maybe you can take your neck more rotated. You can take it further on this side. All of that stuff is just really nice information to have when you're doing a workout like this or any kind of movement session. Just understanding your body a little bit more, paying attention, taking notes, and then that information will lead to patterns. What are your patterns? And then those patterns can maybe reveal something else that can help you maybe unpack a movement restriction that you have, or maybe even a pain that you have, or a weakness, an area that you want to strengthen. All right, so we got those eyes and necks working. Remember, you don't have to go super low in your squat. Let's grab that box of motivation, that box of support, reach it. Now, I want you to pretend like that box is really heavy. So move a little bit more slow and move with a little bit more intention. And feel how, when you brace, sliding your feet toward one another to create more tension in the body so you can hold this package. See how much you can change your workout without adding any weight. It's just adding imagination, adding texture to your workout. Yeah. Boom, big heavy box. Notice how you pull your shoulders down away from your ears, maybe even pull your elbows in as you're holding your pretend heavy box. All right, let's lighten this box up before we give it away. Good. So what I want you to feel in this movement as we give away this package to the person next to us, actually on this one, go ahead and give a little love to the person next to you that you're working to in your box. But you can also imagine sharing this with somebody else that maybe can't be with us working out today, or just somebody in your life that you need to share a little extra boost with. But I want you to feel the rotation. So notice the hips are doing the same thing every time. We're just sitting back, but that upper body, that rib cage that we freed up, it's rotating one direction, rotating the other direction. 2. And then always keep breathing, move, breathe with your movement, and 1. Great job. Okay, let's work on a little setup to get us in our straddle position. So I'm gonna have you just do a little squat and then turn your feet out. Little squat and turn your feet out. Sit back, turn them out, and sit back, turn them out. Final time, sit back, turn them out, and then pause. And that turnout right there is your natural turnout. So as we go wider, don't try to turn out any more than what you found here. And then just take your feet wide into more of a straddle position. So now your feet are wider than your shoulders. You're in a straddle position here. Let's bend the knees. And the knees should be, the tendency, and it's really true for me, is for the knees to close in and the outside edges of the feet to come up. Make sure the outside edges of the feet are down and the knees are opening up toward the piggy toe. Let me get back where I was. All right, good. Let's bring our hands to prayer right here. And then we're gonna press up. Now, when you press up, I want you to feel these inner thighs pull towards one another, pull the mat together. So notice my feet don't move, even though I'm pulling the mat together. Inhale here, exhale, lower down. So I gave you the opposite instructions than what I naturally turn around and do. It doesn't matter, just breathe. So we're gonna lower, but I do want you to have that pulling sensation. Or maybe feel this. As you stand tall, it's easier to feel the connection between your heels and your glutes in this orientation. So feel how it's all connected. Imagine the muscles working from the heels all the way up the backs of the legs, all the way to the glutes. Good. Now, let's pause in this, what we call horse pose or goddess pose. Bring your hands together for some tension. Lift the elbows here, but pack the shoulders. Draw your navel into your spine. So feel nice and strong in the spine. Your back should feel as if it's pushing up against the wall. See if you can lift that one ankle. Heel, and lower it down. So let's just try that. 5, 4, you're gonna feel it. 3, 2, articulating that foot fold just like we practiced. 1, let's take it on the other side. 5, this is a lot, I know. Come out of it if you need to. 4, I don't know where you all are. Maybe you're loving this. 3, and 2, and 1. Now let's stand up, wiggle the legs a little bit. Maybe you can find some hip circles here. I love doing hip circles after this work. We didn't warm up with them, but I think they're pretty intuitive. So find some movement here. I want to go right back into that pose and try one more challenge with you all today. Bend the knees, lower down, lift the right heel and the left heel. Same time, lower them down. 3, and 2, and 1. Now lift and hold. 5, 4, 3. Can you get lower? 2, 1. Woo! All right, stand up. Toe, heel, your feet together. Good. We'll just move side to side. Take some hip circles with your feet together. Should be able to trace across the room a little bit more. And then we'll work on a little bit of a cool down. Let's toe heel the feet wide again. Find your feet and turn out. We did this one last week. Pull your right hip back behind your right heel. And we're just going to pause in a side lunge. So one knee is bent, one leg is long. And we're just going to pulse in that side lunge. So I said we're going to cool down, but we're just going to get a few of these movements in. So find that pulse. What we're trying to do is pulse to load the backside. Try to get your hamstring and your glute, the backside, to work more than your knee and your quad. All right, so you might have to pull your seat back behind your heel to find it. And then we're going to stand tall for 5. Lower, stand tall for 4. Move at your own pace. Don't let me rush you. 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Hinge back. Find it on the other side. So you'll notice I took my toe from that turnout and I turned it in to support that a little bit, lunging on the other side. So I'm really pulling my hip back behind this heel. I don't have my knee forward. My knee is stacked over the ankle. Hip is back behind that heel. And then we're going to find those little pulses. So again, Bring your awareness to your heel. Less weight in your toes here, more weight in your heel. Trying to use the back side of your body more. Try to use glutes and hamstrings, less quad. All right? More hamstring, less quad. Then if you can find it, let's stand tall. Same thing applies. Drive your feet through the ground when you stand tall. Find full extension in the hips and give your glutes a little squeeze at the top. 3. Connect it with the breath. 2. And 1. There we go. All right, toe feel your feet in. Circle sweep your arms up. Look up. Exhale, come into a forward fold, but not so far that your head is below your heart. So you're going to come right in here, your forward fold. Let your tail go long. And then kind of go sassy again. So just get your little movement in the low back. And then bring your hands to the, no. Don't do that. Walk your hands over to the right side of your body. You can take your hands on the floor if you want. You can take your hands on the chair if you want, or you can just hold on to the right side of your body here. And then walk your hands through a chair or through the floor or just in space. Take a little twist on the other side of the body here. Keep breathing. Try to keep your head above your heart here. I'm going a little low. And then walk yourself back to the beginning. Circle sweep your arms up. Look up. Bring your arms up overhead. And then exhale. You're going to sweep your arms back. I'm going to bend at the hips and the knees. Inhale, stand tall. Exhale. Inhale it up. Exhale. Sweep it away. Exhale. Last time, y'all. Inhale it up. Exhale, sweep. Then let it go. And that's it. I look forward to seeing you next time right here